The benefits of writing are real. I'm telling you because I know from experience. My name is Mike Fallat. I own Dreamsters Publishing. I wrote my first book in 2015 and it changed my life. It helped with business, but it also helped personally too. It did so many things to me. It changed me from, a person who was, I guess you could say, not that confident, who was weak, no backbone, into a different person. And often, whenever we're working with clients at Dreamsters Publishing, we're able to see the exact same results. They are often very different when they finish a book than when they started a book. And the reason why is because they're doing a lot of introspection. They're able to figure out what was the lesson that taught them, or that taught them how to get further in life. What was the story that taught them the lesson? When you're able to connect these dots, now all of a sudden you have an advantage. When you're able to see where you come from and what's the major takeaway, it gives you a perspective that you would never have otherwise. This allows you to potentially analyze your social circle, analyze your career, analyze where you're going, what you've done. Did you make the right mistakes? Maybe you're able to analyze your strengths or weaknesses. You're able to break everything down. So personally, you grow as a human being, and I've never seen anything else do this for you. So writing a book is real. The power is very significant. And I'm going to list off a couple benefits of writing. So if you're thinking to yourself, do I write that book? Do I sit down and actually put it all together? Even though it might be hard, it might be difficult. The answer is yes. It's a resounding yes. A couple reasons for that, and let's get into it. Number one, you will become a much better communicator. Everything comes down to the art of communication. Jordan Peterson, a great author out there, talks about that if you can speak well, if you're articulate, if you can comprehend things, it's going to make you very dangerous in this world. You are going to be a dangerous, dangerous person because nobody can mess with you then. If you're articulate and you can stand up for yourself and you can speak well, you're going to have an ultimate advantage over anybody that you run across. When you are able to clearly communicate your ideas, your thoughts, your beliefs, people understand who you are. They will decide if they want you in their life or not. So when it comes to relationships or dating or whether it's with clients, they know if you can solve their problem or not. By being a great communicator, you have an advantage. You can save time. Some people say you can create time. You could speed up time. You could get from point A to point B much faster because they know what you're trying to do. They know who you are. They know the problem that you can solve. Everything falls in line with how clear you are whenever you're able to break everything down and tell them exactly what you want them to know. The art of communication is probably the number one asset. And when I started to write, I started to see my ideas come to life on a piece of paper. And it makes me a better speaker. Now, the art of speaking is a skill set you could always work on. There are some people out there like the Tony Robbins and the Jordan Petersons and the Garrett Whites. They're great speakers. But if you look into their history, you find out they did a lot of writing, but they've been doing it for so long. It's a craft that takes a long time to master. When you're able to clear up what's going on in here and make it come to life on a piece of paper, now you could share it with the world verbally. Being a great communicator will give you an advantage like nothing else. So make sure you get your thoughts out of here down on a piece of paper. Other benefits of writing. It will eliminate stress. In another video, I talked about this. Carnegie Mellon University did highlight the power of writing and reading when it comes to stress levels. It says, researchers have found out that if you just read or write for 6 minutes every day, you're able to eliminate stress up to 68%. Think about how significant that would be if you're able to eliminate stress in your life just by spending 6 minutes reading or writing. It could change your life. So that's why stress levels. What happens with stress? Obviously, your blood pressure, immune system, energy levels. When you have high stress, it zaps your energy. When you have no energy, you don't want to get anything else done. Your life evolves around energy levels. That's why you got to take care of them. And if you can find out a hack like this, you're going to win. Next thing, you will be more productive. That falls in line with what I was just saying. But things become clear and organized, and that way you can manage them. When you're clear, when you know where you're going, when you know what taught you a lesson or what was the story that taught you the lesson, maybe you want to duplicate it, maybe you want to eliminate things. You can now be more productive of what to do, what not to do. If you're able to organize your thoughts in a way, it's almost like shelves. You're able to dissect certain feelings, certain stories, certain lessons, certain ideas, put them all in order, and then you're able to maybe throw them out like a deck of cards whenever you need to. You're able to make sure that everything is organized up here. Now, life is very fluid-like, so it's not going to be 100% all the time, but the more structured you are here, the more structured your life is going to be. They always say, well, your house or your life is sort of a reflection of what's going on in here. And if everything's a mess, it's just a tangible representation. So the more clear you are up here, the more productive, the more organized, the more you can just get things done, prioritize, and keep moving. You will learn more. It says you will understand the subject more, and if you teach it, you'll understand it at a much higher degree. Those people who sit down and write every day will understand the power of teaching. Great Brazilian jiu-jitsu masters out there and people who are at the highest level will always teach their students something, and then they have their students teach it back. As a writer, what you are doing is teaching. You might not think of it that way, but you are. Especially if it's a nonfiction how-to book like we do at Dream Starters Publishing, you become a teacher. You're teaching a lesson, you're telling a story. And when you teach something, you have to understand it better than the average Joe, because if you're going to teach it, you need to connect the step 1 to step 2, step 2 to step 3 for it to all make sense. And you will actually analyze your own verbiage, your own text, your own words for it to actually flow the way it should. Great teachers can write really well. So those people who can write really well can become great teachers. And as a great teacher, you truly understand the subject at hand. You will gain awareness of your reality. You will understand where you are at and how far you are from the goal. When you are able to understand point A, point B, and point C, Jordan Peterson, a great author out there, as I talked about in many of my videos, will always say, as long as you know where you're going, and if you know where you were, and if you know where you are, you have to understand where you're going. You have to understand what scares you. You have to understand where you're at right now. When that happens, my God, you have such an advantage. And so if you can gain awareness of your reality, it gives you this ability to say, I am in control or I am out of control. Clarifying everything in a tangible form will do that like nothing else. You will make better decisions. Those people out there who are kind of lost in their life, they're not in control. They don't know where they're at. They don't know where they're going. They don't know what scares them. But the people who can sit down and write, these people are able to dissect certain parts of their life that nobody else can see. Only they can see what's holding them back. And by writing, it allows you to go deep into your brain waves, your brain activity, to figure out, do I want to do this anymore or do I not want to do this? And those people will find something, going to latch on to something that really drives them wild. And it will drive them to a high degree of, ooh, this is passion. I want more of this. Dopamine levels will start to rise. Serotonin will rise. You'll analyze what drives you wild as your soul, what sets you up to win. And so if you're able to make better decisions about your life, then the end product is going to be a happier, more successful life. The way to do that is to figure out what you love. Maybe you find that childhood memory that just drives you wild, that you need to be nostalgic about and bring back in your life. Making better decisions is really about going back into memories and extracting what you need to know for a better future. So if I could say that in a better way, I guess you could say is the point of a memory is to find something that's going to make your life better in the future. You make better decisions once you analyze all that. And the last part of it is it'll make you happier. You're a happier person if you could sit down and write, and you will be able to see that non-readers, I brought this up in another video. Check out the YouTube channels. We talk about this all the time. Non-readers are 28% more likely to report feelings of depression. People who do not read and do not write will find themselves in a depressed state more often. And it's probably because they can't distract their mind. It's probably because they can't analyze what's going on. And it probably is because they feel out of control. If you write, it gives you a sense of control. And control will make you feel happier. My name is Mike Fallat. The benefits of writing are real. Sit down, pick up your pen, and the pen becomes your sword to fight for a better life.